Welcome, everybody, to Flambeau Noir 2021. And we have with us the infamous Zach Black. So, you founded the Satanic International Network back in 2010, right?
Correct. Yeah, 2010. Yeah, I just kind of an offshoot of YouTube, and I kind of wanted to feel like I could. Yeah.
Cool. So, that's a great name, by the way, Satanic International Network, and it abbreviates down to SIN. So, um, you were mentioning the other day in chat that you were thinking of maybe talking about how to harness um, some kind of pop culture thing to get attention for some of the more esoteric ideas or the more uh, the philosophies. Uh,
Y- Yeah, Jeremy, I'm having some technical issues on my end, man. I'm having some feedback. I didn't realize I have to wear headphones
oh, okay, no problem.
because I'm getting a loop. It's about 10 seconds behind, and I'm afraid it's going to feed through the mic. But
Oh, okay, cool.
um, shit, I don't know how to start this over, but it's been a while.
Oh yeah, not a problem. You got headphones there?
I don't know. Does it have I don't know. Are you okay? Are you okay in the sound? Because I mean, if it doesn't echo through.
Yeah, I don't think I'm not hearing it on my end, and let me see if anybody in the chat's hearing it. Is anybody in the chat hearing an echo or like a delay?
Okay, cool. Right on, man. Well, if you guys aren't hearing it, then I guess I'm just hearing things. Won't be the first time.
Okay, perfect.
Right on, man.
So, what got you started into Satanism in the first place?
Oh, Minnesanism, basically, I guess it was just kind of I don't know, I kind of like I mean, I was raised Catholic, but like a lot of us, but
Mhm.
I just kind of was disillusioned with those fairy tales at a pretty young age, man. About I don't know, 9, 10.
Yeah.
Kind of started questioning the Tooth Fairy, Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, and Jesus was kind of like the next one right there on the list, right? So I was kind of applied some critical thinking to that dude, and that's pretty much what got me into it. I guess I don't know. I've always kind of had a penchant for like kind of more gothic or the more the more taboo stuff, the more yeah, the more seedy side of things. So yeah, of course I didn't just delve into Satanism. I kind of got my feet wet with like little Wicca, little tarot cards,
Right, right.
astrology. Yeah. But eventually, I put my big boy pants on and went right for the chunks.
So, there's this big debate in the satanic community about what constitutes Satanism. Now, some people say there's no such thing as LaVeyan Satanism because it's just Satanism. Is that a position that you agree with, or what's your stance on that?
That's it. You know what, man? That has been a topic that many have pondered in the forums for at least a decade. But yeah, that's a very good thing because at one hand you have like Satanism, is defined by LaVey as being the first person to codify it as an actual philosophy. So therefore, it almost kind of, sort of, kind of, almost you almost kind of give props and merit to that. But at the same time, can one person like just encompass the entire philosophy? Whereas Satanism, I think, can actually branch off, outside of the Church of Satan, outside of LaVeyanism, or outside of, So yeah, I would have to say that if you consider yourself a Satanist, I think you should at least recognize him as being one of the godfathers of that sort of left-hand path occultism. Um, but I don't think you really necessarily have to, adhere to everything that LaVey, wrote down as, things. Sometimes the things that were relevant back in 1966 aren't necessarily relevant in 2021. So I think I think LaVey, in fact, I'm pretty sure LaVey even said in one of his books that Satanism, in order to stay aloof, must evolve with the times. And so I don't think he thought himself to be immortal either. So,
That's cool. Yeah, because I think that there's room for innovation, right? Like as we learn more things about the world than they knew back then, like I mean, it's not even that long ago, but it's things change so fast, right? So I think that not incorporating new knowledge is very unsatanic, wouldn't you say?
yeah, absolutely, man. And, that's what happens to religions, right? I mean, religions, they don't evolve and then they become dust. They become relics of the past. And, they just, I mean, you look at it, even like modern religions, like say Christianity, if you think back in like say 1950s or 60s, right? Where it was pretty much fucking, thou shalt not, right, wrong, right, wrong. And now it's kind of like this, oh, you're gay? Well, maybe Jesus will look at it if you just prayed hard enough. I don't know. Get past your fucking homoeroticism. I don't know, but I mean, so I mean, it's kind of you kind of got to morph times. Oh, abortion. I don't know about that one, but yeah, I mean, yeah. So I think Satan
But
might
yeah,
be
who
the same
knows
thing.
in like another 20 years, right?
It's hard to say, and I've been kind of a critic of the like say the Satanic Temple,
Hmm.
which I mean in some aspects I think they're doing a great job, and on other aspects I think they're just moving so far away from what Satanism was that it's no longer Satanism anymore. So let's just call it something else. Let's call it, I don't know. You pick it. The androgynous Baphomet Iggy Pop thing.
Well, it's not even as androgynous because they took the boobs off it, right?
I know, right?
It's just a dude. It's not even a
Is it?
Baphomet anymore.
That's the third gender. That's the third gender in California. The bathroom use. That's what that is.
So let me see here. Do we have any questions? Oh, okay. Zafrina Angelus has a question. The whole urban myth around Anton LaVey regretting slash saying, "What have I done?" on his deathbed. Do you think this was just propaganda bullshit? Or is
You
there something
know,
to it?
I man, you know what? And obviously I wasn't there, and that's what always bothers me about everybody who says like he repented. Oh, he said, oh,
Right.
because there's only two people that were there, Carl LaVey and Blanche Barton, were at his side when he died, right? And I've talked to one of them, and all I can say is this: is Carla said that her father died with his faith intact. That's all I can say. So I'm gonna have to call bullshit because they said that Darwin repented. They said that Nietzsche repented. You call bullshit on that. I'm just gonna call it wishful thinking. I'm pretty sure, like these men knew what they were doing, and they took their souls with them.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
easy to make the claim, right? And then it
Oh,
becomes rumor, and then it doesn't matter if it happened or not. You can still claim it is, and people will be like, "Oh, is it? Maybe it's true," and then they'll just believe it because somebody said it, and they found some website that also said it.
but unfortunately, that's how this type of not mythology, but gossip kind of spreads down the rumor mill, right?
Mhm.
It's like I heard from this guy in Bible camp that was the cousin of Anton LaVey's fucking club-footed sister said that he repented. No, I doubt it. I'm pretty sure that if you're that badass and you can sport that goatee and bald head for that long, I'm pretty sure you're not going to repent.
So, what do you think about his exotic pets?
And that's another interesting point that's kind of along those same lines is they were saying like, oh, like he beat up his fucking Doberman pinchers and he beat up his fucking Togar. It's like really like I don't know about you, man, but I mean, I'll just back out right now and tap out if I got to go up against a 500-pound lion. I'm just gonna be like, no, I'm not gonna beat up a lion. I'm sorry, like just from a moral standpoint, but also just out of carnal fear. I mean, I don't think he would do it, man. It seems like he went to great lengths to have that pet. I don't think he would just, hold in the corner and beat it for no reason. It doesn't sound like a thing he would do, but
So what about since we're going down this track? What about the claim that Aquino made that he created the Temple of Set partly because LaVey was selling priesthood or something like that? What do you think about that? That's kind of a controversial thing sometimes in the community.
I have heard something similar to that. I I never actually read the Aquino's 1200-page book about the Church of Satan. I did talk to him in the 600 Club forums a little bit, but not enough to really gain any real personal insight into that. I who knows, man? I mean, it's I think from what I heard from people that knew both of them was basically that LaVey wanted to kind of keep it more of an atheistic and did want to make it more of kind of an attraction, and God forbid, profiteer off of it a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
During the occult explosion. Whereas Aquino, I thought, may have been a little bit more theistically inclined, may have wanted to keep it more spiritual, more, a little bit more serious, where LaVey was also a showman, and, it made no light of that either. It's pretty obvious about it. So it's hard to say. It's hard to say what's real and what's sour grapes, and that's kind of the mystery of it all, and that's I guess that mystery will die with both of them now since Aquino passed in September of
That's true.
2020.
Right? Exactly. Let's see here. Okay, so Kinja Ravenmoon said, I think he would have gotten his head bitten off, referring to the lion. The lion slept with him and his wife. Didn't Aquino and others state that it was because LaVey was turning Church of Satan totally atheist? Well, he definitely said that was one of the reasons, right? It's because he wanted to explore a more theistic side of things, and LaVey didn't.
Well, here's on that topic. Here's something interesting that I heard from Aquino himself in the forums. He wasn't addressing me personally, but I read it in a response on a thread that I was following in the 600 Club. Um, he basically said that LaVey wasn't as atheistic as a lot of people would like to believe. Like he even said he made a joke about it. He said LaVey wasn't a LaVeyan Satanist. So I don't know if it's true.
Well, I mean, they always usually say that the founder of a religion isn't usually a follower of that same religion that they founded. you know, Jesus wasn't Christian. You know, for example.
That is a good point, man. That is a good point. Yeah, and yeah, of course. LaVey was so progressive for the time. I mean, I think he did capitalize on this occult explosion and the openness of the '60s, but at the same time, I don't think he was pigeon. I don't think he pigeonholed himself. I think he kind of like was going as it went. In fact, like a lot of people don't know, like the Satanic Bible, when it was originally written, was only about half the size of it was. A lot of it was taken from Midas Right. I mean, not necessarily. Some of it was just straight up plagiarized, but some of it, it was just kind of reworded and stuff. And then he had some interesting stuff. And I guess he went to the publisher of the Satanic Bible, and they were like, "Well, this is good, but it's a little too small. So you need to add some more shit." So he came back, with some spin-offs of Crowley rituals and stuff like that, and
Oh, right, like the
Golden
Enochian
Dawn.
keys.
Right, right. And I think, yeah, the Enochian keys. Yeah, absolutely, man. And if you the Satanic Bible, it's like I was always wondering, like I was reading them, and they're like you flip one, and it'd be an empty page. Like, oh, guess that's her notes. Oh, flip, empty. It's like there's a lot of filler in there, trying to make them, But had props. I mean, he opened the door to occultism, like nobody else. And so whether you're a LaVeyan Satanist or not, whether you think he's a charlatan or not, whether you think he's gimmicky or not, I think he's kind of all the above. But he's definitely the doorman that opened up the occultism left hand path to a generation like nobody else probably yeah.
Well, he had a lot of celebrities too, right? That were part of his crew, you could say, or that he kind of managed to reel in, you could say.
Again, that's I guess that goes with him to his grave because he said that Sammy Davis Jr. was like big in the Church of Satan. He said that Jane Mansfield was his lover. He said he dated Marilyn
Hmm.
Monroe. There's pictures of him with Marilyn Manson. A lot of Keith Diamond from more modern, well, so-called modern people. But yeah, it's like it's hard to say. It's hard to say. Some of these people I think may have just been around, just to put his arm around, take for a fucking cool picture, and you're
Right.
fucking at a party. What a great picture, right? Fucking it's LaVey, it's like yeah, it's yeah, I do believe that there's a lot of people that were involved that were like say Roman Polanski or say Robert Fused. Yeah, so some more prominent people that are a little bit more subtle than say Marilyn Manson, but
Hmm.
it's hard to say, man. It's all speculative, and I think that they keep it that way for a reason, right? I think a lot of it's blown out of proportion, and I think a lot of it's actually downplayed. Like say the Rolling Stones, for instance. I think the Rolling Stones with like their first album, their Satanic Majesty's Request, came out in 1966. Oh, and it's like, hey, what year is that? Oh yeah, that's the year Church Satan was formed. And then
Right.
what I mean, and their thing with Kenneth Anger and Invocation to My Demon Brother, and but then it's like the Rolling Stones got really big, and it's like, ooh, fuck that Satanism stuff. It's like we're gonna be billionaires. So
Right. So they use it to
right.
kind of get their attention, and then um, so oh yeah. So Kindra also mentioned had a comment here. One thing is that the COS today is a far cry from what it originally was. What's your take on the modern Church of Satan versus the old school LaVey run COS?
Oh wow, how much time we got here, buddy? Let me pull up. Um, no, I mean honestly, I joined the Church of Satan in 1994 when I turned 18,
Hmm.
and but I wasn't really an active member. I mean, they offered me a little bit of this and that, but I just didn't feel that I didn't really I felt not developed enough to actually pursue what they were offering. So I didn't really have a lot of hands-on experience, but what I witnessed was I witnessed this transition from things morphing from like kind of like magazines, Zens, like the Cloven Hoof, the Black Flame,
Hmm.
publications like that that I used to buy through the mail with like my fucking paper route or whatever.
Right.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and it was like then it just became kind of when LaVey died, it was like this administrative thumb wrestling match between Carla and Peter, and then Blanche Barton got it in court and then gave it to Peter for supporting her, and it was like, and then like a lot of the, in my opinion, a lot of the good talent left, like say Boyd Rice, Rex Church or Diablos Rex, whatever he wants to be called out. I mean, I'm not saying there's no talent in the Church of Satan. There absolutely is. I mean, I'm friends with quite a few people in the Church of Satan. It just seems like at this point, I think the internet kind of destroyed a lot of the established organizations, including the Temple of Set, including Golden Dawn, including Church of Satan, including everybody. I mean, it's kind of I mean, why? I mean, if your desire was to meet like-minded individuals, now you can just go to Facebook and be like, oh, Satanism, there you go.
True. True.
So it's really hard to say, man. I mean, I was a little bit too young, went behind the ear to actually remember those days.
So A2 Melku asks, where does Satanic International Network differ from LaVeyanism and theistic Satanism?
That's a loaded question, but I'll take it. Um, yeah. Well, Satanic International Network, as it says, SIN, which by the way, I do coin myself probably the most clever fucking acronym in Satanism so
Yep.
far. But
Conceded.
but I think that Satanic International is loosely defined as it's not necessarily the Vein Satanists. There are theistic Satanists, and it's kind of just it's more of an embodiment of I like to call it a cabal, like a cabal
Mhm.
of like-minded individuals. I mean, how does it differ? It differs that well, basically the Church of Satan, will charge $250 for membership fee. I think if that's your going rate, 250. So, and
Yeah,
Sin
something like
is
that.
25, which covers my cost to print out your shit and walk my ass down to the post office and print out your goddamn cards, and I might have enough for a beer on the way home. So,
So that's the main difference.
pretty much, yeah. I mean, again, I'll stand by it. I mean, the organizations are pretty much obsolete at this point. Satanic International Network, Satanic International Network is the actual online network. Satanic International is the organization.
Oh,
It's
okay.
pretty much the same. It's pretty much, it's something that you would do, like say to join to show your support, to contribute to the infernal debauchery, diabolical infestation, if you want to call it that. But it doesn't, I mean, we are we you know we don't need membership card. We don't need that. It's we wear our merit on our own sleeves here. So
Right, right. What do you think about the idea of um, the Church of Satan? Just basically what some people criticize them, saying all you get is a membership card.
sure, I'm going to answer that, and I'm going to address Kendra up here. She asked a question that's pretty cool.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, as far as you know what, there's nothing wrong with joining an organization. I'm part of many actually, and I joined specifically not to make myself feel like I'm a bigger, badder Satanist, but just to show my support because I support what they're about. I support what the philosophy and the ideology that they promote.
Yep.
And I mean, if it's $100, bam, if that's what they're asking for, if I like it that much, hey, here's $100, and
Right.
get going with your bad self. I'm down. You know what I mean? That's kind of like how I look at it. Yeah, so like people get different things of it. Of course, a lot of people just join for that red card. Some people will join just for the identity.
Mhm.
Some people will join just for shits and fucking giggles to show their friends at a party.
Yep.
Hey, Church of Satan!
Right.
Because honestly, that would be pretty fucking impressive if you know the fucking idea what the Church of Satan was. You're like, what? But yeah, I mean, but yeah. So I mean, to each their own. I'm not gonna knock anybody for joining the Church of Satan. Fuck, I did. I mean,
Right. Right.
I was for 16 years, so it's like, I mean, Kendra to ask about Boyd Rice being appointed high priest of the Church of Satan. That's an interesting thing. And this is something. This is one of the things that really I buried myself with the Church of Satan with is when I went on the Amazing Atheist talk show in 2012, and I was a little drunk. Not me, but yeah. Oh,
You?
yeah, not tonight. But yeah, I kind of got a little loose lipped, and I said something about but Boyd Rice was apparently, according to Boyd Rice, I wasn't there, but LaVey wanted Boyd Rice to have the high priesthood of the Church of Satan because he thought Boyd Rice was progressive. He thought Boyd Rice was just the type of cutting edge artist to move the Church of Satan forward without it getting stagnant. And apparently, I'm all for it. I'm a fan of Boyd Rice. I mean, I know a lot of his stuff's kind of animated or whatever, but he's an artist. He's a musician above anything, and so it's like yeah. I mean, yeah, I think it would have been a great hit for the Church of Satan, and but apparently, my opinion is not always held as sacrilege within the Church of Satan. So
Why do you think he turned it down?
I think he turned it down because, according to him, what I read in his essay about it was something. I mean, I can't quote him exactly, but something to the effect of that. He felt the Church of Satan died with LaVey, and he felt that it was going a little bit too gimmicky, and he felt that it basically was a beast that broke off its chains that can no longer be controlled. Something to that effect. Yeah.
Let's see here.
Kendra's fucking with it. The Amazing Atheist, yeah. Oh, hey, what's up, Kevin? Yeah, what's up? E2. Okay, pretty much recognize everybody in this room now that I see anyway.
Yeah.
So about you, Jeremy? You ready for some questions, man? Because
Yeah.
I got some questions for you.
You got
I know that.
questions for me?
Yeah, why not? So what do you think the main differences between, say, modern Satanism and Luciferianism?
Well, I think that modern Satanism tends to. I mean, there's two big branches, right? There's the whole occult side of Satanism, and then there's the more philosophical atheist side. And you have that within Luciferianism as well. I don't think that there's as much difference as a lot of people want to think. I think that the main difference is kind of the focus between um, adversarial, the being an adversary, like kind of being a rebel in a sense, being like challenging authority and that sort of thing. Um, and the way that Satanism has developed, it's kind of been more about focusing on manifesting a really awesome life. And I think that the focus in Luciferianism is more a little bit on trying to understand life. I guess is that's the main difference, and you have all the other various different branches between the two. I think.
That's yeah, that's pretty yeah. I totally have to agree with that, man. I mean, I could add to it a little bit in saying that based on my experience was with people that identify as Satanists and people that identify as Luciferians.
Hmm.
Um, as you can see, I mean, I'm a little identify a little bit of both, but it seems like uh, Satanists tend to be more about the here and now, more about the carnal, more about the mundane, more about the earthly pursuits, right? You know,
Right.
it seems like Luciferians tend to be move more towards the intellectual or the spiritual or even their almost, dare I say this, and don't kill me anybody, but theistic, possibly like more like the archetypical. We'll just go with archetypical. That's a little more medium there. And yeah, the romanticized version of like Milton's, stuff like that. I don't know. I personally, I'm a fan of both, so I don't see
Yeah,
why one has to really be that different from the other. But
I
yeah.
absolutely agree
Although
with
I
all
do consider myself more of a dog that likes to sniff junk. But yeah.
that. Yeah, I'm similar in that I identify with a lot of aspects of both. I usually refer to myself as a Luciferian, but I've been referred to as a Satanist before, and I didn't bother to correct them. I was like, close enough.
Right, right. For
I
sure,
can
for
I
sure.
can I can go with it.
Now, who would you say would be like, say, the most prolific author for Luciferianism? I mean, is there currently one, or is there multiple, or is there like a godfather that
Well,
you would like draw reference from?
well, it's undeniable that Michael Ford has put out a massive amount of books on Luciferianism and other content, and he's actually speaking later today. So he's probably one
Awesome.
of the most prolific in the sense of having so much content out there, more than pretty much any other Luciferian that I'm aware of. So he's definitely been able to create a big influence on the Luciferian community through putting out so much content. Um, him and I have worked together before. Like we did the Greater Church of Lucifer, which ended up becoming the Assembly of Light Bearers. We changed the name of it, and that still technically exists. Um, and I feel like Michael Ford's style of occultism is different than my style, but uh, they go well together, I think. And we were able, when we were both kind of running that organization together, we were able to kind of appeal to both sides because we had stuff from both kind of styles of occultism or teaching. So my style is a little bit more, I don't know, Masonic, I guess you could say, or like the Illuminism type stuff. And Ford's stuff is a bit more like witchcraft almost, or getting into that realm of stuff. So we're kind of coming at it from a little bit different perspectives, but yeah, he's definitely one of the most prolific authors in Luciferianism for sure.
Right on, man. Yeah, I noticed that in Satanism too, where you'll have like, well, outside of the dichotomy between atheistic and theistic, you have like Satanists who are more about greater magic, more focused on that aspect of greater magic, whereas a lot of, including myself, kind of steer towards away from that as being more of kind of just psychodrama and kind of filler for the philosophy, but put more faith, or not faith, but put more emphasis on say lesser magic, you know, um, and stuff like that. More realist or pragmatics than dare I say it, the more aloof,
Yeah,
magicians out there.
yeah. Well,
But I mean, but we're all, I consider we're all in the same boat. Just one's in the back and one's in the front. But
yeah. Well, I mean, personally, over the years, I've done less and less of that like high magic type stuff, and I've gotten more into um, like I don't know, you could say more direct stuff like lucid dreaming. You don't need to do a ritual if you're in a lucid dream. You've unlocked God mode. Anyway, so you don't need to do a ritual to manifest something in a dream. You just think it, right? So, and that I feel like that it doesn't just affect your dream; it affects you on the on your psyche as well. So, I feel like you're with a ritual, you kind of got to do it over and over and over and over until it kind of drills into your subconscious mind. But there's a lot more direct ways of transforming yourself or learning more about yourself or whatever your goal is. And so, yeah, I don't do as much of the high magic type stuff as I used to. Although I kind of find it fun. I like the theatrics of it. You know, um, and it's a cool way of transmitting knowledge between or keeping knowledge alive, by putting it into like a, let's say, like an initiation ritual or something, and then you can kind of encode knowledge in there, and it'll just keep getting uh, done over and over through the ages in a sense, and it's almost forms like a oral tradition, a lineage of people passing that knowledge on, even if they don't realize what it is. It's encoded in there symbolically. So I think that's kind of cool. And so I was a Freemason for a while, and I was involved with the Golden Dawn and that kind of stuff. Was kind of where I got my early training. And the Gnostic Church, a Gnostic Christian church. Well, they knew I was Luciferian when I got into it, but a lot of the people that were like parishioners, they were not aware that I was Luciferian, because my bishop was like, oh, yeah, don't tell these guys, but it doesn't, I agree with you, he said, but don't tell all these guys because some of them don't understand what you mean. Anyways, I ended up leaving that eventually because I didn't like being secretive about being Luciferian, to people that I was, leading, being a spiritual leader to. They're looking to me for teachings and things like that, and I'm like, I'm not even Christian.
Well,
It's Gnostic,
isn't
it's
there right
different,
there? Isn't
but
that the real power, though? Right. That's the real power, right? I mean, if you really want to get diabolical, if you really want to get sinister,
right.
you obviously, you can be a wolf in sheep's clothing, so to speak, and that's that's to my opinion, that's more powerful than any. If you can get somebody like say, I'm just throwing this out there. I'm not necessarily saying it's true, but like say Lady Gaga, right?
Uh-huh.
Um, who has billions of fucking fans, right?
Yeah.
Who's actually a Satanist and spinning that web, as opposed to say like your favorite fucking death metal band called Raw Satan.
Mhm.
I mean, I appreciate them both for for who but one rows the boat with the paddle, and one rows it with a fucking motor, with two Hemis on each side. So, uh,
Yeah, no, I
yeah, man,
totally get what you're
that's
saying.
awesome.
Uh, yeah, I totally get what you're saying. There's an argument to be made there, and I
Yeah,
think this
yeah.
kind of ties into that idea of you were saying before about using some kind of something that's popular in in modern culture or whatever, and using that as a springboard to get attention for other ideas like the satanic ideas you're saying, like uh, using people's interest in psychedelics or something. Remember, I think you were saying something about that in the chat.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, man. And that was never my intention. I mean, but when something, like say, like I'm much more well known for being the 30 hits of acid guy than I am for Zach Black. Although Zach Black was here before the 30 hits of acid guy, it doesn't matter. It's like I can be both, at the same time. And I do. I can't even tell you how many people have told me like, "Hey, I watched your shit because about 30 hits of acid, this and that, this and that." And then they can kind of relate to you on that level, right? Because like, oh, this guy's fucking cool. This guy's fucking down. He's party guy just like me. And
Right.
then he's like, and then it's like, wait a minute, what the fuck is this Satanism shit? The fuck? And then most people will just branch off and they'll be like, fuck this guy, going home. Three guys going home, but maybe 5% of those people will be like, I need to watch some of this shit. And then maybe 1% of those people will be like, actually have come back and actually said, hey, like start off watching your shit, from the 30th of Acid video and
Right.
started listening to this about Satanism, and it totally changed my whole perspective on things, and it made a lot of sense, and thank you very much. And next time you're in town, here's a hit of acid. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so, it's all good, man. We all have a role to play, you know.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So when did your YouTube blow up? What was the thing that kind of blew up your YouTube? Was there anything in
Uh,
particular, or was it just an accumulation over time, or was there a point when it kind of just hit?
Man, honestly, I think that I was kind of just at the right place, the right time. Like, I mean, there are other people that can get on YouTube and talk Satanism better than I can. Absolutely. Right. I do Satanism 101 very well because people can relate to me because I'm not, where's my black cape? Wait, oh fuck, I don't have one. I forgot it. But yeah,
Right.
I am Mr. Fancy Pants. Listen to me. And so people have a hard time relating to that shit when you see a guy like, well, like, having a little drink or whatever, and it's like, and he's sitting here talking, like, explaining Satanism 101 without the fucking googly goggle hobby fucking Halloween costumes of the Church of Satan and the Reverend Magister Fancy Pantses and shit like that. I mean, like, I mean, I've been ordained, I've been given those titles in different organizations, and you'll never ever hear me go by anything other than Zach Black. That's, just because I'm not pretentious, but not to say that everybody who carries those titles is, but you know what I'm saying? A lot of people that do are. So, yeah, so that's just right place, the right time. And then it was kind of like there wasn't a lot of Satanists on YouTube back in 2009, right? YouTube didn't even get started, I think, what, 2006? So, not a lot of competition, and there wasn't a lot of ads and a lot of monetization. In fact, I don't think there was any monetization back then. So, it was basically just a fucking free for all, and people could actually click and watch people based on their interests instead of based on Google's fucking ads, which
Right.
is why that's why my channels are pretty much dead and dying, is because, yeah, you get blackballed and, there's don't monetize, don't make money, blah, 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 fuck you.
Yeah,
But,
if you're not making the money, then they're not going to promote you. So the back
yeah,
when everybody's channel was getting demonetized and stuff, like my channel got demonetized for a while as well, and completely the whole channel, and it sucked because the thing is not like I was making any money off of it, but um, maybe I got like $100 a year or something like that. But um, what pissed me off was that I wasn't going to be promoted in the, they weren't going to show my videos to anybody because I wasn't going to make them any money, right?
yeah, absolutely, man. It's, uh, people always ask me, like, because 30 hits of acid video just hit 7 million, right? And I've got like 8
Wow,
other videos that are like pushing 1 million right now.
that's
And
crazy.
it's like, people ask, like, how much money you make off of YouTube? I'm like, you know how much money? Not 10 fucking cents, man. I'm fucking serious, man. Yeah, I've drank some cheap whiskey. No, I'm serious, but no, I'm sorry. Like, it's just because, like, I don't know. Yeah, I did try to monetize my shit at one time, and then it was like, as soon as I did, like, bam, I got suspended. Not. I'm sorry, not suspended. I got terminated. Like, not suspended. Not one strike, 2 strikes, you're out. No, they fucking should have, like, done. Like, YouTube was like, fuck this guy, you know. And then I realized, okay, cool. If you're trying to make money with YouTube, so, and whatever. And then it was like, YouTube's like, no, because they were like, people actually look at your shit, and so then I just said, fuck it, fuck it, never tried again. But I mean, I don't blame people for trying. Oh, I got a question for you though, man. What do you think of EA Cooting? EA
Quitting,
Cooting.
EA quitting.
Thank you.
Uh, yeah, Matthew, I think his name is his real name. Uh,
I know he's friends with Michael Ford, so I don't want to, like, I'm not going to diss anybody. I'm just curious about your opinion.
yeah, I mean, I don't know him. I never talked to him before. He just friended me on Facebook recently, so I don't know.
Word.
You know,
Enough said.
when he first was putting stuff out, it was really good stuff. Like I remember one podcast in particular that I was really impressed with that he put out about what was it, evocation, like getting into the right uh, altered state to do spirit. communication, basically. And it was really well done. I thought that the early stuff he put out kind of proved to me that he knew what he was talking about. So, and then he's definitely gotten very commercial since then. A lot of people have criticized him for that. So, but yeah, I don't usually criticize people that much, especially on the left-hand path. I don't want to punch left. Kind of thing.
Oh, absolutely. Which is why you're probably more popular than I am. But that being said, let me tell you my opinion. Thanks
Sure.
for asking, though.
Yeah, I was about to. So.
I know you are. But man, his earlier videos I thought were like interesting because it's like okay, he's talking about sigil magic and he's talking about zodification stuff like that. And honestly, I'm not well enough versed in like greater magic and sigil magic and all these types of higher magic,
Mhm.
to feel like I'm any sort of like source or whatever. But I could tell, he is touching upon certain things that I have come across in certain books right here and there. Um, but then there's like, I don't know, but always a critical analytical part of my brain keeps rushing forward, and it's like, this guy's like talking about summoning demons and like fucking, calling up the forces of darkness and shit and putting them in invocations and get sell to you and shit. But yet the guy cleans carpets at the fucking Louisiana or wherever the fuck. I'm just saying, like, if I could call on demons, I'd quit my fucking job right now. I'm just saying, just that's it. That's all I want to say. No, but you know what? I don't know him as a person. I, I'm not even gonna mention any. I'm just gonna shut up about that. But I don't know him as a person. He seems like a real guy, doing his thing, and he seems like he got a little niche right there, and he's clearly educated. Whether he's a charlatan, I'm not gonna. Nobody's a charlatan here, right? We don't sell lies. We sell shit to people that want to buy it. It's different.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Sorry, me including Matt. But yeah. Oh wait, what's that question over here? Oh, another question for you, Jeremy. You have any plans for like? Do you have any plans like after this Corvid thing, possibly of having like another actual physical location for a consortium or left hand path conference or?
um, I don't have any plans for a specific location for any conference. I'm open to ideas. Um, there have been places that I've wanted to do before, like New Orleans. I think that would be pretty badass.
I'll tell you what, man, Jeremy. We were actually going to put one here together in San Diego in 2020 in April, and then the whole fucking pandemic thing happened.
Yeah.
But I was thinking something better after scouting it. I mean, Canada just doesn't quite have the population. I mean, don't get me wrong. It has population, but not like the United States. But then even the United States, you got to look at like say location, like like Lori had hers, in Atlanta, right?
Mhm. Yep.
Because that's where she's close to, and that's where so it's convenient. But for a lot of people, Atlanta is fucking Atlanta. Like I
Right.
mean, don't get me wrong. That's not the place I would go to vacation. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm gonna spend some money on a ticket, I want to fucking maybe it's just me. Sorry, maybe. But I want to go to like the city of sin. I want to go to like, Las Vegas, fucking booze, 24/7, fucking hookers, legal, bam, 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 casinos, gambling. If you're gonna take the money, the vacation, like have it like Las Vegas, and it's cheap airplanes, cheap flights, cheap hotels.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Just saying. I
Yeah,
don't
no,
know.
I love it. I love it. I love the idea. Yeah, totally Sin City, right?
Right,
That's
right, right.
perfect.
Yeah, no, I just came from there, man. And it was like I paid like $80 for like a fucking room at the Cosmopolitan, man, on the 54th floor. Booze, girls, blow, all night. Like, like just saying.
And I
If you're
heard
gonna
that
spend the
there's
money
like
to go, you might as well party, right?
I heard you can
At
like
least have it.
basically get as much like really good food as you want to. Like there's buffets like
Oh,
everywhere and they're cheap as hell.
your wife must be listening. But no, okay. Um, yeah, man, absolutely. The food's fucking bad. Oh, Tampa, Nakia Chaso, my homie over there is the chapter head of Southern Florida. And yeah, man, yeah, fucking Tampa, Florida would be fucking badass too. It's just like so isolated. But I guess you know what Vegas is too. I guess kind of. I don't know.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
What's the cultism scene like up there? You're in Toronto, right?
Yeah,
Is that right? Okay,
yeah, it's
that's a
actually
pretty big city. I know a few Satanists up there. But yeah, what do you think? How much of your time you spent in the States, man? Have you traveled the States a lot?
a little bit, here and there.
Mhm.
Not like extensively, but I've been to a bunch of different, quite a few different states. Um,
Oh,
but yeah, I mean, U.S. is like 10 times the population of Canada for sure. Like you said, a lot of times I've just done them in the Toronto one and the Ottawa one were basically because that's close to me, close physically for me to go to. Um, the I mean, Toronto though is one of the top five biggest cities in North America.
oh,
Um,
nice, nice, man,
so that's
nice.
huge.
It's always nice to see like I always see like I try to figure out like where these hot pockets like of Satanists come from. Like it's not so much a thing anymore, but before the internet, it was kind of like a weird thing because it was like we didn't know where everybody's coming from because there was no network. And it's weird. It seems like as far as like I look at like where the traffic is coming from on say like Satanic International Network,
Yeah.
my network where I can actually track like where people are coming from.
Hmm.
And you'd be surprised, man. Like it seems like Canada, your area, in the Toronto area is quite a bit, and ironically, like places in like the South, like Southern America, like the Bible Belt, like you would expect it to be
Yeah.
like San Francisco or San Diego, where I live, some place a little more progressive and liberal, but no, man, straight up in the fucking heart of the Bible Belt, like fucking Jacksonville.
Texas is huge for Satanism and Luciferianism too, right? It's like Texas.
Yeah, absolutely,
Well, we had
absolutely.
the
You know what I'm saying?
Luciferian church there, like the physical one.
Texas, right?
Yeah, Spring, Texas, which is just outside
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
Houston,
I
and
remember.
it's like on the news and everything.
Yeah,
I didn't actually
I remember
go.
seeing.
I didn't actually physically go to it. I wasn't able to. I was going to. I can't remember what ended up happening, but something happened. I couldn't end up going. That was like several years back. But yeah, we had that for like a year, and we had to install like so many different security things because people would like pick up like a lawn ornament and throw it through the window, or somebody actually climbed a tree and sawed one of the huge, like a really big old tree. They sawed off like this big, huge old branch off of it. Pissed everybody in the neighborhood off because they're like, "What? That old tree? They just wrecked it." And they were trying to like damage the building, and they ended up like it landed on the neighbor's building.
Lucifer got you good. Okay. Yeah. No, that's
Yeah, it
awesome,
was
man. I
crazy.
can
And
see that.
the actual owner, like the landlord, she was getting death threats and everything, like constantly. And she was like, "I'm sorry, guys, but I can't renew the lease for another year." She at least she at least kept it for the year, but she's like, "I can't deal with this." People constantly like sending me like death threats and hate mail, and like I'm
Yeah,
starting to get a little worried.
yeah. Well, I think the part of that issue was that you're in Texas, which isn't the Bible Belt, but it's still pretty fucking south, man, and
Yeah.
that's pretty conservative and not that against conservatives, but and they're pretty Christian conservative. But
Right.
if you were to, like do that, like get an office space here, like say in Southern California, man, people would probably just stand in front of it and take pictures of it, like, and it's like it's but I like that, man. I
Yeah,
like
I don't
people
think
that
anybody would
manifest like
care if it was in
reality,
Toronto.
actually manifest like something like the Greater Church of Lucifer, bam, has an office building in fucking Texas. It's like, whoa, there's Texas?
Yeah.
That's pretty badass.
It's
Like,
pretty. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool having that.
yeah,
I don't think anybody would care if we put one in Toronto. Just like where you said,
right, right.
certain
Toronto's
places,
pretty
people would
liberal.
be like,
Yeah,
"Oh, that's kind of cool," and then they just keep walking,
right,
or like you said,
right.
just take a selfie in front of it, and then move on.
Yeah, but I really like the people that have like physical locations or physical things that manifest. Like, or if you're getting, if you have a book to sell, like say plug Jason 666 King, my homie Jason King, like, yeah, fucking postmodern Satanism, I mean, you have something that you actually possess other than intellectual cyber popularity or coins like myself. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, so it's like, I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. There's there's like some crazy they call it, I think, a Luciferian church in somewhere in South America, I think, and it's just like elaborately painted, and it's like all red and black, and they've got like giant, like humongous, like upside down crosses and stuff, like all the stereotypical cliche satanic, imagery that you could have possibly imagined, all crammed in there. And it's pretty hilarious to see the photos of it. But it's pretty cool that they did that. You should.
I
I
saw
don't know
that.
if you.
I know
Oh,
what
you
you're
saw
talking
it?
about. Yeah, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it looks like a Catholic church, but like with satanic, like,
Yeah,
yeah, stained glass windows and shit. Yeah, it
yeah,
was
yeah.
pretty fucking cool. I saw it. I was like, what the fuck? Somebody spent that much money? That was cool.
Yeah, if I had like a massive amount of money, I would totally do something like that.
Oh, fuck yeah. That's like somebody who just inherited a shit ton of money and can give two fucks. Like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
cool.
exactly. Or won the lotto or whatever, right?
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah, man. You can't take your money with you. You might as well do something like fucking over the top. People just gonna be like, what the fuck? Is this guy high? Maybe, but who knows?
Well,
Do
yeah,
you have any
he's got a lot of
favorite
attention.
musicians, man? Do you have any favorite musicians, Jeremy, that you consider to be like, you know, ultimately satanic or more satanic than the run of the mill people that talk about Satanism in the music industry?
Well, I like King Dude. He's pretty cool. Uh, you know who I'm talking about? King Dude.
Man, you made me feel old. I have no idea who that is.
uh,
All right. No.
yeah, he's sometimes he has a band, and sometimes he just does, his own kind of solo thing, and it's kind of folksy, almost like gospel music almost, but it's for like Luciferian gospel music almost. Like he has that kind of feel to it, where he kind of like plays the guitar, and it's really simple, but it's pretty cool stuff. Um,
King Dude, huh? I'll check that out.
Yeah, so he's definitely like he's an actual practitioner. Like I
Oh,
know him sort of. I don't know him like to hang out with. Like I hung out with him once when he came to town, and he was like, "Oh, Jeremy," like
nice.
maybe like we've
Nice, man.
talked on the phone and stuff like that. And then when he had a chance to like he was touring through Toronto, we managed to hook up for a bit and hang out for a little while, anyways. But yeah, I know him in the sense of like that I've met him and we've talked a bunch, and yeah, he's definitely an actual practitioner and really believes in Luciferianism as a philosophy that he adheres to and lives his life by. So that's pretty cool.
That is cool. Yeah, I mean, for people that are listening or who will listen, like, I'm sure a lot of people have heard of the band Ghost,
Yeah.
but holy shit, I can't even tell you. Like, I've been following like Satanist musicians since like the very beginning, since like Coven and the Rolling Stones. But like, as far as like the most prolific satanic band, I think probably in fucking history, as far as the musical sales go and as far as exposure goes. And I don't know why, because I don't get any airplay, but like Ghost, I mean, that is straight up. A lot of people will say, "Oh, they're not Satanists." It's like, no, actually, they really are. He's more. Tobias Forge considers himself left-hand path more so than LaVeyan Satanism, but he got his start in that aspect. But yeah, I mean, it's anybody wants to know about like real satanic music outside of like say death metal, right? I would check out Ghost. Yeah, it's no plug. Yep, Ghost from Sweden. Absolutely.
Cool. Yeah, I like Ghost. I like it. I wasn't sure. Like you hear the rumors that people are like, "Oh, he's not actually, Satanist. He's just doing it for the attention or whatever." But yeah, so I didn't know whether it was true or not. Now I know.
Yeah, 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 absolutely, man. I mean, I could tell from listening to his music, but say you're not a Ghost fan, so you don't really listen to his music that much. Yeah, being able to meet him, talk to him for about 10 minutes, the guy. He'd be a guy that'd be great to have on this podcast right here. You know what I'm saying? Or in the
Cool.
consortium. Yeah. I mean,
Flambeau
what I'm
Noir.
saying? He's as legit, if not more so than anybody that I know. So.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Have you
Do you have any
talked to him?
thoughts about the you have any thoughts about the O&A?
Some interesting stuff. Absolutely fascinating stuff. Um, obviously there's some extremism in there, but you know, I find it absolutely fascinating. So I don't know what else to say about it. There's some obvious things that you want to have a disclaimer when you say that you like O&A.
Right? Yeah, we're gonna see who's man. Yeah, no, absolutely.
but
I get it.
I don't throw out the baby with the
Yeah,
bathwater kind of thing. There's some
right.
really interesting stuff in there.
Yeah, I like that. I like that there's actually people that still put sinister in Satanism
Yeah.
and not that S was sissy as it has been the last 5 years.
Yeah.
So
No,
yeah, I
I
like there are people that are fucking real. Like I want to see.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I know what you mean. I know what you mean, and I've seen you
No, but
talk about that kind of thing a few times before, and I'm right there with you. I feel like Satanism should be edgy. There should, and not this fake. I bought something that some edgy person made, and so that makes me edgy too. Like actual fucking edgy. Like it should be.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, it kind of if you it doesn't need to be cartoonish like say the Church of Satan where it's like overrun by like 80s fucking goth rock, but at the same time, yeah, I mean, you don't want it to be fucking rainbow fucking tutti frutti shit, and it's like no, but I want people. Satan is supposed to be the adversary, right? It's supposed to be the bad guy. It's supposed to be the
Mhm.
taboo, the dark side, the fucking devil. God damn it! Like in
Right.
anybody's superstition, he's a bad guy, right? Like let's not whitewash his ass. Like, and when it starts to get really whitewashed, there's an organization, O&A, Order Nine Angles, right? That comes forward like, whoa, and like throws that back in spades. It's like even if they're not actually what they may appear to be or what the media maybe makes them, or and
Right.
Anton Long, David Myatt, who the fuck knows? Maybe it's Shooks. I don't know. Nobody would know, and even if I did, I wouldn't fucking tell you. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I'd be afraid for my life. But you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's like I like it. All right, there's S back in Sinisterism, and now you're fucking scared. I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Hell's yeah. Hail Satan.
All right. Hey, not
So
Hail Satan. Hail Satan. I remember those days.
yeah, so I think that's a good note to close this off on. We've been talking for
Yeah,
about an hour, and I really
absolutely.
appreciate you coming on here. I know you almost didn't make it because of unforeseen circumstances, but you managed to get here. You managed to be here in your time slot, and we had some really cool conversations and dropped some knowledge, and uh, I really appreciate that. I really appreciate you being on here and giving your time to the community for this conference and all that. And yeah, we should talk again soon.
Thank you, Jeremy. Appreciate always, man. I always show up to support my brothers if I can, and you're absolutely one. And what you're doing is a great service to the community,
Thank you.
and I would always be here if I can. And talk to you soon, man. Thank you for having me on.
Thanks. Have a good one.
You too.